after strategy, we come to tactics. Okay, players use tactics when one side is losing the strategic battle. Okay, for example, when they are behind in development. You see, white has developed 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 minor pieces, and black still has 1, 2 behind. So they are behind in development, so they initiate contact between pieces to slow down white's lead in development. Okay, so they create a problem for the opponent then by initiating contact. Or tactics can be used when one side is a superior force. For example, it's got more attacking pieces than pieces that are defending. In chess, any piece that can get to the opponent's king in 2 moves counts as an attacking piece. Like this knight, it can go 1, 2, 10, it's here. Then from here, 1, 2, 10, it can give check to the opponent's king, so it counts as an attacking piece. The bishop, the knight, this knight, and the bishop. So white has 5 attacking pieces, black 3 attacking pieces, 3 defending pieces. In chess, only the minor pieces count as defenders. Okay, let's go. So in tactical positions, players use tactics when there is contact between pieces or to initiate contact between pieces. Those are tactical positions. And firstly and highest on the priority list in tactical positions is to put the king in danger of capture using checks. You want to attack the opponent's king using checks when in tactical positions. So when put the king in check. After checks, secondly on the priority list is winning material using captures. You want to capture material, so you want to win material using captures. So whenever a capture has been made, you're in a tactical position. Okay, winning material is second highest because, as we will see, in order to deliver checkmate, a player must have a superior force compared to their opponent. That's why we have to have more material. As this tag of 4 image shows, 1 against 4, all things being equal, these 4 will win against 1. Thirdly, the player must attack the opponent's pieces or threaten them in order to capture them or force them to move to squares where they are less active or not active at all. So you want to attack using threats. If the pieces cannot move away, get away from danger, you'll capture them and win material. If the pieces move back, they move out of danger, they lose control of some space that they were controlling. So attacking moves force the opponent's pieces to move backwards. So in tactical positions, you can either capture the king or win material or win territory, because the opponent's pieces will move back. Alright. So we use, in tactical positions, checks, captures, threats. Okay. This is done with the aim to take squares directly from the opponent's pieces. Okay. With checks, it is to get to checkmate. What is a check? A check is a condition in which the king is in danger of capture, like this. This rook is attacking the white king. The king cannot move up because of this king. It cannot move to b7 because of this king, it cannot go to b8 because of the rook. If there are no other options, then it's lost. So what do you do when the king is in check? So if a king is in danger of capture and all surrounding squares like this are not safe, then the king is in checkmate. Okay? Remember, the king moves one square in every direction. It does not capture its own pieces. It does not place itself in check. It cannot move to the D file here because of check. So all these squares it cannot move to are red. Those are dangerous. And the kings cannot come into contact like this. The rules of chess do not allow it, so there must always be a square in between. Like this. Okay? Now, if a king is in check, it cannot come up because it will come into contact with this king. It cannot move to here because this king also contests this square. So these squares, the king cannot come up. This rook, this b8 is attacked by the rook. So the king is in danger of check. So now if a king is in danger of capture, to avoid losing the game on the spot, there are three things that a player can do. Okay? The three things are: one, you can capture the piece that's posing the danger to your king, like this. Two, the king is in danger of capture. You can block by placing a piece between the king and the opponent's piece, threatening the king, like in this example. Or the king is in danger of check by the rook. This time it can move to either d7 or e7 and even to f7. So you choose. You can just simply move out of danger. Now there's no piece that's threatening the king. If you cannot do any of these three, like in this example, the queen is defended by the king cannot move to this square because it will still be in check. It cannot move to c8, it cannot move to c7, it cannot move to a7, and it cannot move to b7 and capture. So then this is checkmate. As you see, it's queen and king, 2 against 1. Here we've got the rook posing, threatening to capture the king, and this other rook controlling all the squares on the 7th rank. This king cannot come up, it cannot move to the side. We've got another checkmate, and we've got 1, 2, 3. Even though the king is not taking part, but it's a group of pieces overpowering a lone piece, a lone king. So if you've got more attackers, if you've got more material, you're likely going to win. Here, the king is contesting the h7, the a7, the b7, and the c7 squares, and the rook is attacking from h8. So the king cannot move to the side and it cannot come up. Again, another example of checkmate, and we see 2 pieces versus 1. Another example is of a king and a pair of bishops. This bishop here on e6 takes away, attacks the g8 square. The king is contesting the h7 square. This bishop attacks the king on h8. The king cannot come up, it cannot move to g8 because it will be getting into check with this bishop. Again, another example of checkmate. And we see it's a side with more material winning against a lone king. Another type of checkmate is the bishop defended by the king. This bishop is defended by the king, and the bishop guards, it attacks a8 and it attacks c8, and the king cannot go to a7 because the white king also contests that square. The king cannot go to c7 because the white king also contests that square. And the knight is, because it moves 1 to 10, directly attacking the king. The king is in check. It cannot move to c8 or a8, or neither can it move to a7 or c7, and it cannot take on b7. Again, another checkmate. Here we see three pieces combining against a lone king. Another example, the final one, even pawns. The pawn on c7 takes is attacking b8 square, and this pawn on b7 is defended by the king, and it attacks c8, and it's attacking the king. The king cannot go to b8 because the square is attacked by this pawn. It cannot come up because kings cannot come into contact. So again, we have got a checkmate position by pawns. Again, it's more material against a lone king, like this. So first, checkmate. Second, material. As all checkmate positions show, the overall aim of chess tactics is to capture the king, so checkmate. And it was always achieved because one side had more material, which resulted in a superior attacking force.